There is a hidden pattern woven into your very being, a silent architect shaping your face, your thoughts, and even your perception of beauty. You didn't choose it, it chose you. Why do some faces captivate us? Why do spirals in seashells and galaxies alike feel right? What if I told you this isn't random? That there exists a number, divine, elegant, eternal, etched into the blueprint of nature, consciousness, and the cosmos itself. Phi 1.618, known as the Golden Ratio, a number so revered that Leonardo da Vinci hid it in his art, so powerful that it appears in hurricanes and sunflowers alike, and so intimate it may shape the very geometry of your thoughts. But this isn't just math. This is metaphysics. Ancient mystery schools believed it to be the signature of the divine, an echo of the source that created all things. Pythagoras, Plato, and the architects of sacred temples whispered its secrets, encoding it in monuments meant to last beyond empires. Today, science sees the golden ratio in our DNA, brainwaves, even stock market patterns. Coincidence? Or a hidden order, an intelligent design coded into the matrix of reality? In this episode, we'll journey through the veils of time and illusion. We'll uncover how this sacred number shaped ancient wisdom, explore how it governs the human psyche, and finally, we'll ask the question, is the golden ratio the fingerprint of the universe, or the language of your soul? This isn't just a lesson in beauty or symmetry. This is a revelation of a forgotten truth, a key to understanding your mind, your world, and perhaps your origin. Stay with me. The pattern is about to emerge. Long before the term golden ratio was coined, ancient civilizations whispered of a sacred proportion. They didn't see it as mere mathematics, but as a divine signature, a law that bound heaven to earth, spirit to flesh. Let us begin in ancient Kemet, Egypt. To the priests of the Nile, numbers were not tools. They were alive, sacred. The Per-Aa, or House of Life, was not only a repository of knowledge, but a temple of geometry. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, encodes the golden ratio in its proportions, not by accident, but by cosmic intention. Its base and height relate in a way that, when measured, speaks the number 1.618. Why? Because to them, this ratio wasn't just structural, it was spiritual. The pyramid wasn't a tomb, but a trans-dimensional device, aligning the soul with the harmonic rhythm of the universe. In ancient Greece, the philosopher-mystic Pythagoras taught in secrecy. He believed that all of existence could be explained through number and harmony. He called the universe cosmos, not just meaning world, but order, beauty, elegance. Pythagoras and his disciples saw phi not just as a ratio, but as the golden key to understanding divine order. Centuries later, Plato, initiated into Egyptian mysteries, encoded this ratio in his dialogues. In the Timaeus, he speaks of a world soul, created through perfect proportions, mirroring the harmony of the cosmos itself. Was this his way of pointing to phi, hidden in philosophical language? In the East, too, echoes resound. In the mandalas of Tibet, in the spiral forms of yantras and the golden symmetry of Hindu temples, phi flows like a sacred river beneath the surface of ritual and design. The Fibonacci sequence, which converges toward phi, appears in the petals of the lotus, the structure of the Sri Yantra, and the balance of yin and yang. But as the modern age dawned, something was lost. With the rise of mechanistic science and rationalism, the sacred was stripped from the numerical. Phi was still admired, used in art, in architecture, in design. but its deeper essence, its soul, was forgotten. No longer a code of consciousness, it became a curiosity of mathematics, a beautiful accident. But what if it was never meant to be forgotten? What if, like the monolith in 2001, a space odyssey, it was left here by something greater, as a key, a symbol, a riddle waiting to be solved not with the mind alone, but with the heart and the spirit? Today, as ancient knowledge reawakens, we begin to remember, and the golden ratio, long buried beneath the sands of time, rises again, not just as a number, but as a bridge between what is seen and what is eternal. What makes phi more than just a number? Why does it whisper to something deep inside us, something ancient, almost instinctual? Let's begin by tracing the spiral. Imagine a shell, a nautilus spiraling inward and outward in perfect proportion. That spiral is not just beautiful, it's precise. If you overlay the Fibonacci sequence, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, on this spiral, you'll see something profound. As these numbers grow, their ratio converges closer and closer to phi. Now, look in the mirror. Your face is not random. The distance between your eyes, the width of your lips, the length of your nose, all these can be measured and compared using the golden ratio. Studies have shown that the closer a face aligns with these proportions, the more humans perceive it as beautiful. But this isn't vanity, it's pattern recognition, etched into your psyche. Your brain is wired to seek phi. Neuroscientists have discovered that the human mind experiences a subtle dopamine release when viewing structures aligned with this ratio. Why? Because the brain, in its evolution, has come to associate this proportion with life, health, fertility, and harmony. But this goes deeper than biology. It touches consciousness. Consider this. The structure of your DNA, when examined from above, forms a spiral, a double helix with proportions echoing phi. Your very genetic code is composed along this sacred geometry. Even your heartbeat, when analyzed over time, forms wave patterns governed by the Fibonacci sequence. Your breath, your pulse, your very rhythm of life follows this universal template. Phi is not outside you, it is you. It's in the way trees branch, in the pattern of hurricanes, in the orbits of planets, and in the architecture of your mind. And yet, most people never notice. Like fish unaware of water, we are immersed in a pattern so vast, so fundamental, we overlook it entirely. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's in the Mona Lisa's smile, the Parthenon's pillars, the spiral of your galaxy. The ancients didn't just find beauty in phi, they found order. It was the key to sacred architecture, to divine music, to the alchemy of the soul. They believed that aligning with this pattern harmonized the body, the spirit, and the environment. In sacred geometry, the golden ratio is seen as a vibrational constant, a tuning fork of the cosmos. It is the mathematical bridge between chaos and order, between formlessness and structure, like a divine breath shaping clay into form. And yet, we've only scratched the surface. For if phi is embedded in your biology and in your mind, what does that mean for your consciousness? What if this number not only governs how you see the world, but how the world sees itself through you? We're about to go deeper, beyond form, into the formless, into paradoxes, hidden symbols, and the mind-bending implications of a universe built on a number that never ends, yet holds all things together. The golden ratio is not just a measurement, it's a mystery. It appears where logic fails and where intuition awakens. Let's step beyond the physical now, beyond art, biology, and architecture and peer into the metaphysical. Because while phi governs the structure of your body, it may also shape the very fabric of your perception. What if reality itself is recursive? Just like the Fibonacci spiral endlessly folds into itself, phi is an irrational number, meaning it never resolves, never repeats, never ends. It is infinite complexity, emerging from simplicity. This is not unlike consciousness. Mystics have long said that awareness is fractal in nature, each thought birthing another, each layer of understanding revealing yet another veil. Just as galaxies mirror atoms, so too may your mind mirror the cosmos. And at the center of this mirror, phi. Modern brain scans reveal that the brain's neural oscillations, its rhythmic waves, align with Fibonacci ratios during peak states of meditation, creativity, and a flow. In other words, the mind enters the phi field when it's at its most awake, most aligned, most divine. Coincidence? Or are we brushing against an ancient truth? Let's go deeper, into the tarot. The major arcana, 22 cards from the Fool to the World. Mysteriously, their arrangement follows Fibonacci principles. The Tree of Life in Kabbalah, 10 spheres, linked in ways that mirror phi patterns. These are not arbitrary systems. They are symbolic maps of consciousness, and phi is the compass. Even sacred texts hint at this. In Genesis, creation unfolds in stages that match Fibonacci intervals. In Hinduism, the dance of Shiva, the cosmic rhythm, expresses life and destruction in spiraling cycles. Phi isn't just geometry, it's time, it's movement, it's consciousness evolving toward itself. And now, the great paradox. Phi is perfect, but it's also imperfectly perfect. It cannot be expressed exactly. Its decimal stretches on forever, without pattern, without conclusion. Yet, it generates harmony, structure, and beauty. How can something so chaotic give rise to such order? This is the very essence of spiritual truth. Unity in duality. Order from chaos. Stillness within motion. The golden ratio is not merely a number. It is the tension between the known and the unknown. The veil between the visible and the invisible. Phi is the spiral path between spirit and matter. It is the unseen architect, spiraling through dimensions, creating stars, plants, bodies, thoughts. And if it is truly everywhere, then it is also guiding us, urging consciousness to unfold, to remember, to return to the source. You are not simply observing the golden ratio, you are living it, in every breath, every heartbeat, every unfolding moment. And so, the question is not whether phi exists, but whether you are listening. So, how do you live in alignment with the golden ratio? How do you tune your mind, body, and spirit to this cosmic rhythm that underlies all creation? You don't need to be a mathematician. You don't need to measure your face or calculate spirals. You simply need to reconnect through awareness, practice, and presence with the divine pattern already unfolding within you. 1. Observe the pattern. Start by seeing phi in your world. Take daily walks and notice spirals in leaves, shells, pine cones. Pay attention to the branching of trees, the unfolding of flowers, even the shape of clouds. These are not random. They are expressions of divine intelligence. As you begin to see the pattern, your mind subtly attunes itself. You're training your perception to recognize harmony. This is the first step in awakening intuitive intelligence. 2. Harmonize your environment. Sacred spaces were once built with intention, using proportions aligned to the golden ratio to elevate consciousness. You can do the same. Arrange your space with natural symmetry. Place meaningful objects according to balance, not clutter. Use spiral patterns, golden rectangles, or mandalas in your home or workspace. Even subtle shifts, like the placement of a candle or a plant, can affect your inner state if done with Phi-inspired mindfulness. Third, meditative spiral practice. Try this. Sit in stillness. Close your eyes. Begin breathing in Fibonacci intervals. Inhale for 3 seconds, hold for 5, exhale for 8. Let the rhythm spiral you inward. As you breathe, visualize a golden spiral beginning at the center of your chest. With each breath, let it expand slowly outward, first to your body, then your aura, then to the edges of your awareness. Imagine this spiral connecting you to something vast, intelligent, ancient. This isn't imagination. This is resonance. You are entraining your consciousness to the same ratio that governs galaxies. 4. Creative expression with Phi paint. Write, design, dance, whatever your medium, create with intention. Use Fibonacci rhythms in your poetry. Draw spirals as meditative art. Craft stories with golden arcs, not just for beauty, but to encode your work with harmony. Art made in resonance with Phi has a strange effect. It calms the nervous system, opens the heart, and awakens recognition. It feels sacred because it is. 5. Apply it to thought and decision. Your thinking, too, can follow a golden path. When faced with a choice, pause. Ask, is this action in harmony? Does it expand me or contract me? Is it part of a larger unfolding? The golden ratio teaches us that life evolves not linearly, but spirally. You don't grow in straight lines. You return again and again to the same lessons, but from higher vantage points. Trust this. Trust the spiral of your becoming. Beware of the pitfalls. Not all symmetry is sacred. Obsession with perfection can distort the message. Phi is about balance, not rigidity. Flow, not control. Don't try to force harmony. Tune into it. Also, beware of reductionism. The golden ratio is not a shortcut to enlightenment. It's a doorway, a hint, a whisper. You must walk the path yourself. In summary, see the pattern in nature. Align your space and your breath with it. Create from it. Think with it. Live in it. And remember, the more you harmonize with Phi, the more your life will begin to unfold like a spiral shell, naturally, beautifully, and with divine precision. You've felt it all along, haven't you? That subtle pull toward harmony, that mysterious awe when witnessing a sunflower, a storm, a face, a galaxy. Phi wasn't just in the world, it was already in you, calling you back to a forgotten rhythm. This sacred number, 1.618. It's not just a measure of beauty, it's the curve of becoming, the spiral of awakening, the silent music of the universe echoing through your heartbeat, your breath, your thoughts. Phi bridges science and spirit, form and formless. It is the thread that unites the geometry of ancient temples with the firing of your neurons, the code behind the rose and the spiral of the Milky Way, a universal law that doesn't bind, but unfolds. And yet, the deeper truth is this. You are not just witnessing the golden ratio, you are co-creating it. With every decision that aligns with harmony, every creation born from intuition, every breath taken in sacred rhythm, you participate in the dance of Phi. You become a living extension of the divine pattern.